And welcome to another edition of Life Outdoors. I'm your host, Chris Reckling. Easy there,
Whoa, we're getting stoked.
Easy. This is Chris Reckling. Thank you guys for joining us here on Life Outdoors. Life Outdoors is now sponsored by Ocracoke Tourism Development Authority. Ocracoke, miles from the mainstream. Okay, let the stoke begin. Check it out, everybody. This is our guest today on Life Outdoors. It is Brian, Michigan.
Can I do this now?
Please do.
Yes.
Please do. Absolutely. You do it the whole time if you want. So today we are talking about the great sport of surfing, and I'm not even sure if it's a sport. I don't even want to say it's a pastime.
I feel like there's surfers.
It's a lifestyle. Right?
Yes, I feel like there are surfers out there that take it so seriously, though nowadays that if you were to say it's not a sport, they'll get mad at you. But I personally think it's way more than a sport.
It's a lifestyle.
It is a life. My life since I started it has completely revolved around it.
Yeah.
Every stop I've made in my journey of life so far, I've been thinking, okay, can I surf here? Can surfing fit into my life somehow while I'm here?
Okay, weather nerd by night, surfer by day. You're getting ahead of yourself. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining us on Life Outdoors. This is Brian, Michigan. If you don't know who Brian, Michigan is, he's our weather guy here at Wavy TV, and he has his own podcast or his own show here on Wavy Plus called Hang 10. And so it is the outdoor lifestyle that we're celebrating today and the great lifestyle of surfing. And so we're going to dive in. We're going to have a great 30-minute conversation about the great lifestyle. I don't want to say sport.
I don't want to say it either.
Because, even competitive surfing rubs me wrong.
Competitive surfing, it's like, I feel like...
It does.
Growing up, when I first started surfing, it was still... Surfing wasn't this thing that everybody took so seriously. And now it's like, it's in the Olympics. It's, so mainstream now. People take it really, really seriously. And I feel like it's a sport that's not really meant to be, that crazy. It's not meant to...
You said sport.
Lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle that's meant to be fun for everybody.
Yeah. And speaking of that lifestyle, let's get to know the guy behind Hang 10, which you're doing a great job on that, by the way. And anyone who loves to surf, you're going to enjoy seeing Hang 10. And we're going to learn about Brian, and I'm going to learn a lot too. So when was that first time? Was that first wave you caught? And take me through that first session. So how did it come about? Because that's where it all starts, is that first time.
Yeah. So I call it the bug. My dad called it the bug, the surfing bug. Once you get it, you're stuck with it for the rest of your life. And that's why I kind of say everything that I've done in my life, going to school, getting my first job out of college in Savannah, Georgia. There's not great waves down there, but I can still surf. Like, I've always factored surfing into so many different parts of my life. I was a lifeguard for 7 years because I was like, well, I could be on the beach and I could surf before and after work or on my break. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to make sure I can always surf no matter where I am. It all started before even standing up on a surfboard. It started on a boogie board. I started obviously boogie boarding when I was
how old were you?
A young grom, 6 to 8 years old.
Surfboard. When was that first time?
First surfboard was probably 9 or 10.
Okay, cool.
And it was this red 7-foot foamy. Had like a little hurricane logo on the middle of it. Still have it. It's in my crawl space right now.
Good. Hold on to it.
In New Jersey. Yeah, 100%. Going to keep it for the rest of my life. But we were walking the year before I started surfing. My family and I were walking on the beach, and we were going past in New Jersey. They break up the swimming zones in the summer to you can only surf here, you can only swim here. Surfers and swimmers can't mix because the beaches in New Jersey get so crowded that running people over is a real risk if you have surfers and swimmers right on top of each other. So we were walking down the beach. I just got out of the water boogie boarding, and I was spinning little 360s around. I was actually pretty good at boogie boarding as a young kid. Would try to stand up on my boogie board all the time. And we were walking down the beach, and my dad's like, "Hey, look at that! They're surfing over there in this section." He's like, "We should try that next year," because this was getting to the end of the summer at this point. And I was like, "Yeah, like why not?" I didn't really think too much about it until the following spring came around, spring break, which was a week long. You're in elementary school. Spring break's a week long. We went down to Florida. We always would go to Florida. My great-grandmother had a condo on the beach in Daytona Beach Shores, which is essentially just north of Ponce Inlet, New Smyrna. Mm-hmm. Great waves.
So flat down there.
So flat sometimes, but it gets good.
Yeah.
It gets good in the hurricane season. But anyway, So that was that trip was my first time surfing, and I remember going over. It's a barrier island that you have to get onto for Daytona Beach shores. There's a bridge. You take it over, and right on the right when you get onto the island, there's a part where you can drive right onto the beach from the bridge, so you can see the ocean as you're going over the bridge. And I just remember as we're crossing over it, just a perfect 3 to 4 foot wave just peeling down the line, just offshore wind barrel. It was to this day one of the most beautiful waves I'd ever seen, and I hadn't even caught a wave surfing yet. From that moment on, I was like filled with this excitement, and I remember the very next day, it took me like 2 or 3 tries. I was up, and I was like, "Yep." I had to share the board with my brothers.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
want
hard.
I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep surfing, and I fell in love instantly.
You grew up on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
It's cold there in the wintertime, but you
Very.
get good surf there.
Great surf
You
there.
get some powerful surf there. A little more challenging here than in Virginia Beach.
Yeah, out the back in New Jersey is a little deeper, so the waves
Yeah.
can hold their power.
Yeah.
It ledges up from deeper water, and there's a spot. I grew up surfing in Manasquan, New Jersey, Bayhead, New Jersey. Bayhead, a lot of people would call it the pipeline of New Jersey.
Nice.
It is a gnarly wave a lot of times of the year whenever it is breaking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I grew up in a great part of New Jersey for surf, and a really decent surf community too. It's exploded now since 2020. There's new faces out in the lineup every time I go surf, but it used to be a pretty decently sized, but you could kind of still recognize everybody. But there's a lot of rippers in New Jersey. Like a lot of people inspired me up there to like get as good as I could, as fast as I could.
I'm looking at you, and you're telling your story, and I'm seeing myself.
Yeah.
Because my whole career was centered around surfing.
Right.
Wherever I do, I'm going to continue to work. So my first job in TV was in Wilmington, North Carolina.
Great place there.
WECT. So lived on Wrightsville Beach, and then came back to here just to be able to surf, because I'm not going to go anywhere we're inland. Because
No.
if you're a surfer and you don't have an opportunity to catch a wave, what's the point? So you and I are very similar in that respect. Okay, so you mentioned Jersey surfer, but you're a Jersey surfer. You do a lot of traveling.
I do a lot of traveling.
Because you have to, because at some point you got to find warmer water, and everybody else, you do a lot of traveling.
I mean, if you stick in one, New Jersey, you can hit the Garden State Parkway and find a new wave within an hour wherever you go. Mm-hmm. But it's nice to kind of branch out every now and then, surf new spots. I find a lot of excitement in traveling.
Yeah.
So
okay, so that's a great segue to the next segment. So we're going to take a short break here on Life Outdoors, and when we come back, Brian's going to take us to some spots. Something that you do that I don't is you film a lot.
I film a lot.
I do
almost
not,
all the time.
only because I'd much rather just enjoy the moment. But you film, and you got some great stuff. So we're going to share that with you. We're going to take you to where? El Salvador.
El Salvador.
We're going to take
all up and down the
secret
East
spots
Coast.
on the East Coast
Yeah.
and some other places. So stick around, everybody, with Brian Michigan here on Life Outdoors.
Visit Ocracoke and step into a world where every moment feels like a getaway. Savor fresh seafood straight from the sea, stroll along sun-kissed beaches, and let the gentle breeze carry your cares away. Paddle calm waters, explore hidden trails, and discover the unique stories that make this island unforgettable. Explore a village where the pace is gentle, and every corner holds a story. Whether it's a beach campfire or a quiet walk, Ocracoke offers moments that linger long after you leave. Slow down, you're here. Plan your escape at visitocracokennc.com.
And welcome back to Life Outdoors. I'm your host, Chris Reckling, sitting alongside Brian Michigan. He is
Shakas all day.
Okay, we could go surfing all day long, but we're going to really just dive back into you. As you went to Penn State University, studied meteorology.
Penn State was a culture shock for me, because that was the most inland I'd ever lived.
Just like Virginia Tech was for me.
Yeah.
You and I are very similar
Very
in
similar.
so many ways.
I would do weekend trips home just to surf.
Well, I sat in classes just doodling waves the whole time because I couldn't wait. But then once I got into the mountain lifestyle, I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
But you studied meteorology.
Yes.
Is that partly because of your love of surfing?
Yeah, so I fell in love with the weather. 3rd grade, doing a group project on hurricanes and doing research for the project. YouTube is in its infant stages at the time, but I would still, for that project, I just went down a rabbit hole of just watching videos of storms, and I was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. And obviously through my life, like a lot of people get a weather bug in the early stage of their life, like, oh, being a weatherman that would be cool. But like they don't hold that passion through their life. It takes something to sustain it. For me, that was surfing, skiing too. I skied growing up in the Poconos, but mainly surfing. You have to be so in tune with Mother Nature. You have to be so in tune with different surf spots and what swell direction, wave size, wind direction, how does that all tie into a certain surf spot or a certain swell to get a really good session in. So hurricane season for East Coast surfers is what we kind of live for, and that kept me really inspired to kind of combine my surfing and my weatherman passions.
Well, every surfer is an amateur meteorologist.
Oh, I say that all the time.
Because if you're not watching the weather, you don't know what to expect the next
Exactly.
day. But you're fortunate now, and we all are as surfers, because now you have surf cams at every location.
every break.
And
it's not the thrill of checking it is no longer as it was, right?
They're kind of the devil.
Blowing up the spot.
Not just that, but also they're misleading sometimes. You know what I mean? Like you look at it and go, that looks really small, but it's really good.
But it's really good.
Or it's really big, and you just never know. Or you see it and it looks, oh, it's great, and you get down there and it's blown out.
Yeah.
It's just but it's better to have than not.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, so we left you guys on the last the commercial before this talking about some travel exploits. When did you start traveling, and how did that open up surfing to you? Because if you're a surfer and you don't travel, you're not doing it right.
Right. I guess from the beginning I was traveling because we would go to Florida almost every year. I remember there were some years that we went to Florida twice in a year. We would go for spring break and we would go for fall break. So I feel like I've been traveling up and down the East Coast my entire life. I never went out of the country, though, until after I graduated college. El Salvador. That was my big trip of my life. That was the best trip I've ever been on.
Speaking of which.
It was the best. It was something.
So El Salvador was your first trip out of the country?
First trip out of the country.
That's a good one.
It was fantastic. My buddy Corey, his dad has been going there for 10 plus, either 10 plus years or, no, more than that. He's been, I think this was his 11th or 12th trip. So he's been over 10 times to El Salvador. Point breaks all up and down the coast, surfing rich coastline.
Mostly rights though, right?
Mostly rights.
And
I'm
you're
goofy foot,
yeah.
so I'm backside, which I don't mind. New Jersey, the predominant swell direction is southeast.
You're still surfing.
Yeah, I'm still surfing. This was some clips of surfing Las Flores. It's a world-class point break in El Salvador. We stayed at Punta Mango, and that's a cobblestone point break. This one's more of a sandy bottom point break, so it was really comfortable to surf. You weren't too worried about hitting rocks, but this was one of the longest waves of my life. I think I had like 10 turns on it, and my legs were just burning afterward. This is Punta Mango. Really good quality wave. And we went there, and it was decent size, but it wasn't too big. That spot can get to 15 and 20 foot, and that's a little above my comfort zone. I'd paddle out, but I can't tell you I'd be very stoked on it. My first job, WSAV, Nexstar affiliate station in Georgia. Tybee Island is the local surf community there.
Right.
It's a small community, small waves, of course. It only maxes out about head high, even on the biggest of swells. But there is a solid surf community there and a couple breaks.
That's a long ride right there.
This is a hidden gem of the East Coast on Tybee Island. It's pretty much a point break that breaks twice a year. And then this is a tanker wave. This is a cargo ship wave coming out of the Savannah River.
Cool.
Yeah, the cargo ships love coming out of the Savannah River.
Well,
they're loaded up with product, and it'll send a wave into that same spot. See the jetty in the background?
I do see it.
Really shallow sandbars there will pick up any of those boat waves. So
okay, that's fun.
and then this is at the pier. This is a little bit further south on Tybee, but this is a classic little beach break kind of wave. This was actually a 3-turn, just big turns,
but that's midwinter there.
This is midwinter. I'm in wetsuit. The water dips down into the low 50s there. Typically when it's at its coldest, but it does get this is the middle of the winter. It gets surf down there, believe it or not.
I'm sure.
Believe it or not.
Well, look, and you got gloves on. That means you're definitely cold.
Yeah.
I say, it doesn't feel cold until it drops below 50.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I
think
mean?
you're still kind of doing it.
Right at 50 and 54, 55, whatever, it's not that big. But once it gets in those 40s,
Yeah.
You know, God bless you and all the other guys out there, but this old guy kind of tap out at some point, only because the shoulders and the full suit and the hoods.
I mean,
and all.
full suit. Yeah, it's a lot of rubber you're putting on.
It's just harder for us when you get older. All right, so look, you rip, man.
Thanks, man.
You do. You really do. You rip.
I've been surfing a long time, so
yeah.
it's.
Where are we at here in Florida?
This is Jacksonville Beach. This is
yeah.
the pier. A crowded day. You're kind of weaving and bobbing through people, but this was, I believe, Hurricane Lorenzo, the leftover swells, a year ago or a year and a half ago. Really fun swell there. This is Virginia. Little novelty
surfing
wave.
in the jetty. Don't do it. You'll get a ticket. People.
I didn't do it. I was just
Don't
filming.
do it.
I was just filming the waves. Little novelty wave.
I know
there,
they really need to pump that. Sand out
I
of
checked
there.
it this
It's
morning.
dangerous.
They are dredging now.
Yeah, it's time to get that out of there.
It's getting a little.
Wow, look at that.
You know,
That's
if there's
actually
waves,
pretty good.
yeah. You know, if there's
That
waves
looks pretty
breaking,
good.
it's shallow.
Yeah.
But this is on the Crow's hand side of the jetty. I found these clips. Just look at the watercolor.
I know, you
for
can see
Virginia
the bottom
Beach.
almost.
It's pretty clear.
That is good.
But I've caught a few fun waves. I've also surfed in Virginia, Assateague Beach,
That's
up
right.
near Chincoteague. Great
Yeah.
spot. I surfed at like 3 guys out, and it was overhead. And then, of course, whenever it's worth it, you go to the Outer Banks, and it's just the most beautiful coast on the East Coast, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. The Outer Banks is. I've been to a lot of places around the world, and it's my favorite place. So you've been here in New Hampton. Oh, wait a minute. Just
Got some
keep
wave
going.
pool.
Let's go.
Wave
All right,
pool.
go
I
ahead.
had to put it in.
You
I had
absolutely
to.
keep going, man. Tell us.
The wave pool's been unbelievable. I'm blown away that they picked Virginia Beach to have this location because it's the only one in North America. There's so many places that they could have put this thing, but it's unreal. This was my favorite shot of it, just getting tubed. On any given day, you could be getting tubed in Virginia Beach. It's kind of mind-blowing, but it's also, I think, going to be a game changer for not just this area of surfers, but the whole East Coast. People being able to travel on any given day.
Look at that one.
Yeah, this
Beautiful.
is Jeanette's Pier. This is actually a couple weeks ago. Really fun swell.
I was surfing a little north of you that
Were
day.
you?
Yeah.
Were you?
Kill Devil Hills.
Okay.
I was staying on the beach that day. I was there that whole week, and it was gnarly. And then finally that Saturday, it cleaned up.
The paddle was a rough one for a lot of people.
I got out no problem.
No, you did?
I backed out on several waves, man.
We-
It was pitching pretty hard.
It was
And I like, "Whoa."
it was big enough that the natural rip current right next to the Jeanette's Pier was kind of getting shut down by sets, so that was a little gnarly. It did take a little bit of time getting paddling out, but I mean I've traveled a lot,
very
especially
peaky.
recently. I love it. I love going to find different waves, whether it's coming off of a cargo ship, or it's a new surf spot, surfing a storm.
Yeah.
My kind of tying my surfing and weather kind of interests and loves together. I love traveling to chase storms and chase waves
absolutely.
coming off of these storms. That's my biggest passion. It's so thrilling. Like, look at that thing. Are you kidding me?
I was out on the end of that pier that whole week fishing and watched waves crash out there.
Yeah. And here we go, back in New Jersey. This is actually a Red Bull Foam Wreckers contest. This is a surf contest that they put on.
Whatever it takes.
It's all about having fun. It's all about surfing on foam boards, and that was a fun contest. But Jersey gets really good. This is in, I think, early June. Surfing Tropical Storm Alex a couple years back.
glassy.
Glassy kind of blew that section, but
It's all right.
I think this is the last clip in this little video. But it's I love traveling. I love just surfing. It's my way of expressing myself too. I make videos of surfing all the time. I'll always put them on YouTube. It's been a I was inspired by you've probably heard Ben Gravy. I was inspired by Ben Gravy years ago. I started watching his videos, and he's kind of a New Jersey legend.
Right.
So I've been watching his videos, and it kind of inspired me to kind of make my own surf videos. It also helped me get through some tough times in college, like when I was kind of going through homesickness and a lot of different things, because it was a big culture shock going out there away from the ocean my first time, and I kind of used the surfing videos as a way to kind of like take my mind off of being away, and now I just kind of do it for fun.
As you should.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a short break here on Life Outdoors and come back with Brian Michigan and talk some more surf stuff. So stick around, everyone. You're watching Life Outdoors. And welcome back to Life Outdoors. Sitting here with wavy meteorologist Brian Michigan. Like I like to say, weather nerd by night, shredder by day. You've been tagged, my friend.
That's a perfect way to describe me.
I know, but listen. So we just had some fun talking about surf. Places you've surfed.
Yeah.
And what it does. So what does traveling do to the surfer? I mean, because traveling opens up your mind and you get to see surfing from a different perspective.
See surfing from a different perspective. You see new culture. Like when I went to El Salvador, it was incredible. Meeting people from there. But it kind of just opens your eyes to the world, and it opens your eyes to different surf spots. And for the most part, it can really, it can kind of just help you. Some loud stuff back there.
Right on.
Hooting and
Andy
hollering.
Fox.
Yeah.
He wants to surf too.
He does want to surf. But anyway, it really kind of opens your eyes to the world and to new surf spots and to new people. I would have never thought that there was a surf community in Georgia where I got my first job until I went there and I met a small but really stoked community. So you can meet your lifelong buddies through this sport, and it's something that can really help you connect with Mother Nature and relieve stress and just find a passion.
I feel like surfers are very fortunate because you're on the you're off the beaten path. You're exploring new places that surfers go, and you're seeing things that the regular people don't go. So you're going, the regular tourists go to this place, surfers going to that place. Have you been injured on a surf trip?
Yeah, not on a surf trip, but I've definitely been injured at home. Fins slicing me, and
it's gonna happen.
Boards hitting you in the head, and then it will happen. Hitting the sand, New Jersey especially on big days, really shallow sandbar, you'll get bruises and getting slammed, and nothing. Luckily, knock on wood, nothing too crazy, but you can get smoked. You can get smoked.
Be careful in the wave pool as well.
Oh yeah, it's shallow.
Pretty shallow there.
Really shallow.
Okay. Also, if you go on a surf trip and if you're taking a couple of CDs or some tapes or whatever, what bands are you taking with you? I mean, because music's important because you're traveling.
Okay, so you're
spending a lot of time going to places.
I'm listening to a band right now. My thing is jam band Goose. I've been listening to a lot of Goose.
Yeah, did you go to Goosemas last 2 years ago?
I did.
Had the Hampton
I didn't, but that
Center.
Goosemas
was good.
I listen to Goose all the time. That's my go-to travel band, and if I'm trying to get stoked.
Yeah, me it was always like Carlos Santana, Rolling Stones. I gotta have some classics,
Rolling
something
Stones.
like that.
Yeah,
definitely do that. Okay, so you're still chasing the next wave, and that was the thing that caught my interest in surfing because I played football and baseball and was really good at it. But the first time I caught one wave, I couldn't wait for the next one. And it's always like that.
Yep.
And at this point in my life, it's more about the experience.
100%.
And so each time it has to be a good experience. And like for me personally, I'm not paddling out the First Street Jetty with 30 other people. That just blows it for me. I don't care if the wave's better. To me, it's like get out and find it. I know you can do that all day long. That's all you. But you'll see that it's still opening up the possibilities. You mentioned here is Life Outdoors, but you have your own podcast.
Yes.
Just tell me more about what that's been for you because. I'm happy that you're doing it.
I love doing it
because there is people out there that can't get enough of this.
I love surfing. I love sharing the stoke and the surf community in an angle that maybe people haven't before. Hang 10, new episodes there every week, and I've gotten to meet a lot of people across our surf community here, across Hampton Roads, board shapers. Surf different, artists, and surfing different surf spots, and chasing some swells and being able to showcase that too. I feel like it perfectly captures who I am, especially as a surfer, and so I feel like I'm able to be very myself on Hang 10. I'm just I love it. I call it's my baby. It's my that show is my baby. Like I love doing it.
Yeah, good.
It opens my eyes to so many different people and so many awesome waves across our area.
Yeah. Well, keep it up because anybody growing up in Hampton Roads and Virginia Beach are always waiting for the next swell because they're few and far between around here. It's not the greatest place to surf.
But the surf community is very rich.
It's pretty amazing, right?
It's awesome.
And we're very fortunate to be able to drive 2 hours south to get world-class surf.
I feel like Virginia Beach in the summer, it's like the U.S. Open every weekend with the activity and the events and surf contests popping up all over the place.
And yes, the wave pool is amazing.
It's a dream.
It really is. Dream. It's really opened up our eyes to so many different avenues 100%. And what can happen. But listen, man, I really appreciate you joining us here on Life Outdoors.
Of course.
I mean, we
Anytime.
can just sit here and look at this all day long.
We can look at this clip one more time. This is my favorite clip I've ever gotten. Just getting shacked in a wave pool while the ocean is flat.
So at night.
At
you have to
night,
do it at
too.
night too.
It's
So
pretty trippy.
It's pretty good stuff. All right, everybody. Look, so you know what? I could come back to us, but we're just going to end it on some surfing right here.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to say when I say goodbye here?
Tune in to Hang 10 if you're looking for more surf nonsense. And that's all I got, I think.
Nonsense.
Surfing shenanigans.
That's right. Yeah. Weather nerd by night, surf shredder
That's right.
by day.
That's
Brian,
right.
Michigan. Thank you so much for joining us here on Life Outdoors. Everybody, thank you for joining us here on Life Outdoors. Don't forget, Life Outdoors now sponsored by Ocracoke Tourism Development Authority. Ocracoke, miles from the mainstream. We'll see you next time on Life Outdoors.